Hey there, whole lifers. This is Adam Anderson, and this is my trusty wife, Carrie Anderson.
You
Yeah,
make me sound like your horse.
well, you do all the work in our family. No,
That's
that's
true.
not true, guys. But when I do say trusty, what I meant is trusty. I trust her, and I trust you so much more now that we just got back from Asheville and did our vision, values, and goals stuff.
I know, it was so great to be able to get away for a few days. We were there checking out the Grove Park Inn so that we can kind of see if that's a place that we want to do some retreats in the future. So that's exciting.
The answer is yes, by the way, in case you were
Your
wondering.
eyes peeled for that. Yeah, super exciting. But while we were there, we took the opportunity to go through our own material on vision, value, and goal setting for the year 2020.
I think it went fantastic. Can I just jump right in and say it?
I think it went fantastic as well. There were some bumps in the road.
It turns out when two incredibly intelligent and attractive people, such as ourselves, begin to talk about the future, they can spark conflict. And by the way, that's okay. It was fascinating. At the end of our first day there, what we realized is we were talking about the exact same thing, but from two different perspectives. We were literally agreeing with each other, but because we weren't communicating clearly, it caused conflict.
Can I tell you though, I think that there's something about being in a relationship with someone for a really long time, like a long,
way over 3 months.
forever.
Way over.
There's something about being in a relationship with somebody that makes you come to whatever conversations that you have, carrying the history that you've had together with you into every conversation.
Literally everyone.
So every experience from the past comes into the new ones. And so we start carrying a little bit of baggage, and it colors everything that we are trying to do now, even if we're trying to do it in a different, better way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But gosh, this is the good thing. We've done this a few times, and every time it gets better, more tight, more concise. Really handle it well. We did a personal identity statement. You actually updated your personal identity statement. We did our major themes work. We went through and got on the same page on what a big vision is. And we kind of glossed over the big vision because we really hadn't changed a whole lot, but we spent a lot of time on our values. And we realized that our values had changed just a little bit. Enough, though, that it impacted our 90-day goals. I loved it. We needed it. We really, really, really needed it.
Yes, and as we were looking at what our values are, what they were, what they currently are, and how things have changed, even just since a year ago, things have changed. And you know what we're hoping may be in line with what other people are feeling. We tried to put words to the shared experience that we have with other entrepreneurial families, and we just really want to create lives full of success without regret.
That is powerful. Powerful.
Does that resonate with you?
Success without
Does that
regret.
resonate with you? So success without regret. What does that look like? Why don't you talk a little bit about your dad?
My father, University of Chicago, got a divinity degree and a social working degree. And right before he got into the Air Force, he was doing clinicals. And he got to hang out with people who were going through the death and dying experience. And he took that information that he gathered, the conversations that he had, and he brought that into the Air Force, where he dealt with combat stress, psychological warfare, and again, death and dying. And what they learned through this entire process, he and a group of other really smart folks, is that there was only two kinds of people. People who died with regrets and people who did not. And I don't want to be one of the people who die with regrets.
Right, me neither. When I think about what it would look like to have regrets, I think of myself like on my deathbed, thinking about, I don't want to turn around and not have spent enough time with our kids. I don't want to feel like we didn't do everything we could to be good to one another.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss out on my parents' lives here as they are getting later on in life. I don't want to turn around and my 18-month-old nephew be 18 years old and still have no idea who I am. I don't want to have friendships fall apart because I didn't pay enough attention. I also don't want to live a life where I'm not feeling like I'm living out my purpose. I kind of want all of it.
You're
Is
loud.
that so much to ask?
No, you're loud. But here's the thing.
I want it all.
If you say yes to everything, then you're saying no to everything. So these vision, value, goals that we help you walk through, the major themes and the personal identity statement, help you target what to say yes to. Because for me, the definition of failure, the definition of a life with regrets, is being amazingly successful at something you do not care about and doesn't fill you up. And I know you know people like this who are amazingly successful in business and absolutely horrible, sad human beings.
Yeah. And so, when we talk about what our metrics for success are, that means how you measure success. And we talked about last week, I think, that many people think that success equals more money. And so they start getting into the game, right? And they even may start seeing a little bit of financial business success, but they still feel like something's missing, and they think, oh, well, the answer to that is more business. The answer to that is more work. And that's not exactly true, because to be successful across every area of your life really requires a more holistic approach. You've got to think of it from all angles.
Yeah.
Business, personal, relationship. I don't want to ever turn around and have a hole in any of those areas.
Well, here's the thing.
How do I manage all of them?
So let's be real clear. We're not saying don't make money.
No, in fact, you need money to fulfill your purpose. You think you don't, but you do.
Yeah, if your purpose is big enough, like I'm gonna reduce suffering in the world, the more money you have to address that, and the more passion you have for it, the more impact you're gonna have. Simple math. So we want you to be super filthy, unbelievably wealthy. And we want you to have an amazing purpose to apply that energy to. But look at this.
Yeah.
People think of three-legged stool, where you've got finance, you've got your business, your financials, your relationships, and your personal, and all three of them. And people are like, well, some of them can be kind of weak. No, actually they can't, because the more success you have with finance, the more success you have with wealth building, the more weight you're putting on the top of that stool. And so just because you had okay relationships and you're taking care of yourself okay, the more successful you get in one of these, the more work you need in the others. Otherwise, the whole thing crashes down.
Yeah, if you don't somehow tie your profit to people and purpose, you're going to be unhappy. You're going to be unbalanced. You're going to not be as successful as you think you're going to be, and you're going to have regrets.
No regrets, people.
No regrets. No regrets.
So
YOLO.
So I think we've dropped enough wisdom today.
Sure.
Look, if you haven't gotten our packet on how to go through and do your own vision, value, goals, personal identity statement, all that jazz, we have it ready to go.
Yeah,
some of you guys,
for the for 2020. So if you want that, you are welcome to it. All you have to do is go to hello@wlemission.com and send us a message that we'll send you that packet. It's super valuable stuff. We don't want anything from you. We just want you guys to have a successful life. Success without regrets, right?
Woo-hoo.
So please, by all means, if you're in our beta and you're going through our program right now, this is a little bit of a wonky week. Adam is going to have to go to the BVI, the British Virgin Islands, this week for some business stuff, and so that changes some of our scheduling.
We have notoriously bad internet connection in
We try,
the islands,
but it's
so
bad.
We're not going to try to do a live. We are actually going to put our webinar for conflict resolution that we've done in the past. We're going to launch that for the webinar on Tuesday. So what you'll get is actually an email from us with a link to that on YouTube. We're going to just keep it super simple and not roll the dice on a live webinar from the British Virgin Islands.
That's right. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, please consider clicking join group here on the page. We'd love to have you in so you can get more in on the discussions that we have every day about how to build a life of success without regrets.
Yep. And guys, stay tuned for next week's live. We're going to have a huge announcement. Big announcement.
Huge.
It's going to be so
Huge.
good. So good.
It's going to be the Clemson Tigers won the national championship again. Yeah?
She called
Yeah?
the shot.
You think?
I hope it's a 1-2 punch. It's going to be that and something else. All right, guys. Love you bunches. Go out and work on your vision for 2020. If you need help with that, let us know. And other than that, cheers.
Cheers. Be good to each other.
Bye.